Hey folks, so today we will talk about quite important thing. So we have something to celebrate and I tried to do it myself for a couple of years. I was keen to build a new DAD method and look like the TBD folks and Gabe especially, they actually did it. So now we have the new DAD method and it's super cool. And it will be the default DAD method in a TBD Web5 library, and it solves a lot of problems, and it's sitting on quite a sweet spot. If you will take a look to the DAD methods that we have now, the huge fraction of them based on the different blockchains, and the main part of the decentralization achieved by the blockchains or variety of the smart contracts. And the problem of these methods actually that the cost of the DAD is quite big. The propagation time of this is quite expensive, and in some point we get a lot of methods that are completely autonomous and offline, like DHT and so on. But the problem with this is that you don't have a rotation, you have super fast local resolution, but you are not able to change your keys. I had a huge hope on the carry, but look like carry is super expensive. Not so expensive, it's not correct thing. It's complex, it's extremely complex. Yeah, it's the right word. And I still haven't seen anything from the carry community in the DAD space, because majority of the DAD methods somehow, I don't know why, depends on the DTND or similar blockchain identity specific solutions that are quite heavy to run, and the protocol is quite heavy. And what we have left, so it was the default DAD method in a Web5 is DTON, so it was the compromise between the blockchains and offline part, that you have some CRTTs and you could do the batching of the DADs in one blockchain transactions. But I have this experience myself. For a couple of years I was the operator of the DTelement node. I built the node and we ran it at Affinity. And I would say that it's extremely tough and expensive and hard. And you have these multiple parts like the smart contract, the IPFS, and a lot of infrastructure like the MongoDB and all of the things. So if you're brave enough to run the Site 3 node yourself, be prepared. So what the TBD folks came with the new DAD method. So it's the DHT from the decentralized hash tables. So, and the beauty of this, that it's based on the decentralized solution that are older than blockchains and used by more than 15 million nodes. So there's the BitTorrent, for example, using it, a lot of other network using it. So it's based on the decentralized hash tables. And I will not go in a deep technical details how to decentralize hash tables work, and all of the things. You could try to read it yourself, or maybe I will make the separate video about the main idea, that is the discovery and oriented on the fast retrieval and all of the things. So you have the DHTs, and guys use DHTs not directly. Guys rely on the yet another project that's quite interesting, and it's called the PKR, because it's double letters. So it's the private key addressable resource records. So it's somehow the bridge between the decentralized world that allow you to create the classical DNS records. So you have the private key, and for this private key you could create the DNS record structure, and it's the core of the solution. And this project actually suppose that you have a couple of players. You have the clients, you have the optional relays that could do the work for you as a gateways, and you have the servers, and actually the client and servers is the same thing because it's peer-to-peer network, and you have the special role or special server that do replace. Why we need replayers? Because all the data that you publish on this network are temporary, and DNS records have the 2 hours long lifetime, and it means that somebody needs to republish all the records with some period. So actually it's the job of the replayers. So you have this infrastructure that allows you to create the DNS records on top of the private key or public key, and it's a good thing. And the majority of DSpec, it's the answer to the question how to pack DHT document to this record, because this record have the maximum size of 1 kilobyte, so you need to invent the way how to encode all the information of your DHT document together with the service endpoints and all other things just to this DHT record. So majority of the specification is the mapping. And one good thing that you could include different keys to the DHT document, but unfortunately you have one key that actually represents this DHT record in a table that are not rotatable. Be careful. So it means that the public key that you use as a hash of the DHT actually have no possibility to rotate. But you have the keys that you could use as assigning keys as a metadata of the DHT document. So it could be the better solution for security concerns. Also, this DHTs open completely new extension for existing DHT methods, because you could pair the DHT key with the DHT and store some extension of the DHT document together with the DHT key. So it means that, for example, if DHT somehow is not available, we always could fall back to the default key, yeah, and decode this key from the DHT identifier. But if you're able to extract entire metadata from the DHT, then we will have the full DHT document. So it could be quite cool and could extend the capabilities of the DHT keys and all these DHT methods that right now are rather offline. And the huge benefit of the DHT is the super easy. It's super easy to operate the node, and it's already 15 millions of nodes, and it's, or even more, maybe I mix with the 15 years of exploitation of the DHTs, but it's existing network, it's a huge network, and it's extremely reliable, and it's extremely well supported by the community. So we don't have the problem of adoption, we don't have a problem of the nodes. And the DHT offers something a bit more, that you could use the DHT nodes directly, or the BitTorrent infrastructure. You could use some kind of relays that work as a gateway, or you could use something that currently built by the TBD folks that called gateways. And gateways is some kind of the servers that are not DHT and PKR aware. They aware about your DHT documents, so you could resolve the DHTs, you could create the DHTs, and the most important thing that they take care about replaying of your records back to the DHTs. So it's some kind of instances of DHT nodes on steroids that are aware about the DHTs. And right now, folks, preparing the standards that allows to make these DHT gateways discoverable, and to create the overlay network on top, that you could have the specific DHT oriented nodes as same as regular nodes, as same as relays on the network. So it's really cool. Quite cool to participate to the project. I really impressed with the work of the TBD team and Gabe and Daniel, and I think that it's really elegant and really nice and clear and super cool solution, and it's extremely cool illustration how the quite old, well-known decentralized tech could support the new challenges and new approaches of using the old things. So really a huge contrast to the team, and we keen to use it on our projects. I keen to see how it will develop and maybe even contribute a bit if I will have a bit more capacity. So take a look to the spec, take a look to the original video from Gabe. I will include it to my video. Subscribe to our channels and choose